Alright, so I just had my one-on-one with my therapist. She's a licensed social worker. So anyway, I do the emotional support group with her. And I'm going to be missing next week, so I had to have a one-on-one. Anyway, we went over a lot of things that was really insightful. One of the things that I really learned was that I've not dealt with losing my loved ones that I've lost, pets, and things like that. So, one of her suggestions was for me to join a bereavement group and basically learn to cope. Sorry, my husband decided to call me. Anyway, so yeah, we learned. Let me grab my papers. Why are you in the turning lane with your stupid ass car? She broke down. Sorry. One of the things we learned is our defense mechanisms. What is keeping me from being emotionally stable, I guess you could say. And so one of the things is she gave me this paper. These are the defense mechanisms. You have denial, minimizing, rationalization, intellectualization, projection, diversion, hostility, uniqueness, and suppression. And she told me to pick 3 that I feel like I do. And so I read through all of them, and the ones that most relate to me and how I cope with things is minimizing, which means that I make a problem seem less serious. Hostility, I use anger to have people back off and just get away from me. And then suppression, which means I just push the feelings down and ignore them like they're not there, which is true. And then some of the other ones I do use, but not as much. Those are my 3 main ones. And she said that we got to learn how to basically stop doing those and getting to the root of the actual problem, solving the actual problem. Otherwise, I'm just going to continue to use food as a coping mechanism instead of actually dealing with my actual problems. So, which is another reason she really recommends the support group, because it's part of the reason I overeat and stuff like that, is because I'm not coping with my loss. I'll be honest, I use a lot of suppression. Suppression is my number one coping or defense mechanism. I push it all down. I lost my grandma, pushed it down. Lost my mom's aunt, pushed it down. Lost my cousin, pushed it down. All of that stuff led up to so much anger in me. And that anger eventually just turned to dullness. Like, I was so angry, and I'm still so angry about those 3 losses in the 1 year that, you know, it's like I'm so numb to anything. It's like, and then in 2015, my grandpa passed away in January. Then my dog had to be put down in July. And then my husband had his tip chopped off at work in November. It's just like another year. Like, the only 2 good things that happened that year were I got engaged and I got married, and then everything else just seemed so shitty. But like, there's so much shit that year that when I look back on that year, sometimes it's hard to remember the good things that did happen. It's hard to remember my wedding, which I did have a great wedding. I enjoyed my day. But there was so much loss and hurt that it's like, what am I supposed to do? And then another good thing, I guess, I forgot to mention, was we did get mischief that year as well. So, but then, like, so we moved back up here, and then 2016, was it 2006? That's when we moved up here. So 2017, we lost Hellion in December, and then 2018, we had Genesis put down because she wasn't eating anymore. She wasn't keeping liquids down. She was just in very bad health. She was old. So, and then Pumpkin was in 2016 as well. I don't know what happened to her. She just went blind and started, I don't know. I really don't know what happened to her, but there's just so much, like, I feel like loss is around me, and I, for one, have a hard time dealing with losing so much. And like, on top of everything, I don't want to be in this state. I've never liked Indiana, and people just don't understand that. Like, for me, when I think of Indiana, I think of pain and despair and hurt. Like, there's really not very many good memories in this state. My wedding is one, and we got married here because it was gonna be cheaper. But, like, I didn't have good high school years here. I didn't have good adult years here. You know, there's nothing but my family that really keeps me here, and really, they're not always enough. They're really not. Like, I don't mean to say that, like, saying that my family isn't enough, but it's not enough to keep me happy. Like, I don't know. I wasn't happy living in Jacksonville, so I I did want to move out of Jacksonville. And I thought, well, if I'm moving up here with Justin, it'll be better. It wasn't better. I mean, our life, like financially and stuff like that, a lot better than when we lived in Jacksonville. I don't know what it was about Jacksonville. It just seemed like every time we turned around, we were getting kicked. We were getting pushed right back down. We couldn't get ahead to save our lives. And it wasn't all financial there. It was emotional. It was just, we were just in a bad state of mind in Jacksonville. Like, we couldn't catch a break. And I think that fueled us to just want to leave. Like, we weren't happy there. Sorry. I'm getting off subject like normal. Anyway, so, she also wants me, my assignment is to start journaling. She gave me an example of upside down, a journal that I can buy. I've seen these at Walmart. It's basically just a daily progress journal for dieting. It has a place to write your meals, where you can keep track of your protein, your water intake, your vitamins, your exercise, etc. And on the back, she gave me like some feelings to where you can write in the section what you're feeling, your thoughts. She also wants me to start journaling, like writing down how I'm feeling, like in-depth journaling, I guess you could say. And I have started journaling, mainly like my progress and what's motivating me, why I'm doing this and stuff like that. And I haven't talked to her about this, but I think another group that would really help me, if it even exists, would be some sort of group for women who suffer from like infertility. Because that is another factor of like why I'm so sad. Like, and I say so sad, but like, she basically told me that the psychologist diagnosed me with depression. So, and she asked me how I was dealing with that, and I said, well, I've not ever had a formal diagnosis. He didn't tell me, so I just deal with things the way I've always dealt with them. I suppress them. Or some things I don't know. It's hard to really talk about things sometimes because it doesn't always make sense to me. But anyway, she wanted to know if I've ever seen a counselor. I told her, yeah, I used to see a counselor, but like they'd always end up talking about themselves, and I don't want to pay someone to hear about their problems. I'm there for you to help me with my problems. And she wasn't really helping me anyway. Like, when I was going to see her, I was having a lot of like really bad anxiety to where I couldn't even go to stores by myself. I had to have someone with me. And her suggestion was to go to a store by yourself and learn to cope with it. Like, learn to deal with your anxiety head on. And it's like, my anxiety is going to the store by myself. Obviously, I'm over that. Of like, I don't know like when I I got over that. I'm perfectly fine going to the store by myself. But like I had a lot of just anxiety to where I didn't want to be alone. But like I wouldn't mind talking to someone, seeing someone. The problem is my insurance, well, my new insurance might actually cover it, but my old insurance only covered like 10% of it, and so I was out the other 90% of the cost, and I just couldn't afford it anymore. Like, it got to where even if I wanted to keep seeing this girl, I couldn't. So anyway, enough of that. I'm gonna go ahead and let you go because I'm on my way to do my allergy shot, and then I gotta go to the store and get stuff for Mother's Day. I need to actually eat some food because I haven't had anything to eat all day. I did stop and get a frappuccino. I know, not supposed to have it, but I needed to get something in my stomach because I did take my pills. So before I went to my session with my counselor, therapist, whatever you want to call her, social worker, I got a drink. So anyway, guys, I will talk to you later. Sorry that this is such a long, boring video, but it is like an actual update of what's going on with my life. I'm trying to like not only make these videos for myself, but maybe like there's someone out there who is actually struggling with the same things, and you know, this video might help them. I don't know, but this is what I'm going through, and I thought about just doing video diaries and posting them every day, but I don't know if you guys would care for that. Like, some days I just don't have much to say. Some days, honestly, I just sit at home and watch TV. Like yesterday, I did not feel good. I binge watched The Umbrella Academy, and I watched all season 1 in one day. Oh my god. It was a good show. I recommend it. But anyway, besides the point, it's just a thought that I'm thinking about doing is like not daily videos, or I might just do like diary confessions, but make it into a weekly video. I don't know. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later, and bye.